Hey, what's good, guys? It's Ked, back with another video. I know it's been a while, but I feel like it was a great opportunity to come back and talk about this fantastic movie, Sinners. I just seen it yesterday, and boy, like, I just left the theater just feeling like I just had to talk about it, so here we go. If you haven't seen the movie yet, I advise you to go see it right now, because I'm going to do straight spoilers. I'm going to talk about everything about the movie. Not really do a summary, but more just pick up on what you guys just seen, what you already know. So if you haven't seen it yet, go see it right now, and then come back. The way Ryan Coogler's movies has always brought black people together is crazy to think about. Obviously, movies like Black Panther, Creed, but Sinners I feel like is just a great example of showing not just our history, a bunch of other cultures too. It features black culture, Native Americans, Asian, and even the Irish. I feel like it's just so crazy to have all this representation in a movie about freaking vampires. Okay, but let's get into it. Let's talk about the Smokestack twins. Smoke and Stack were famous around the town for being reckless and killing their own dad, who was an abuser. After their mom died, they stayed with the character Mary's mom, who Stack fell in love with, Mary. Smoke was in love with Annie, which they both lost their child. When the twins leave the town for Chicago, they work with Al Capone, rob from different sides of gangs, and come back to set up a juke joint. The first 40 minutes of the film is basically showing us them recruiting everyone for the party. We have Sammy, the twins' blood cousin, the son of a preacher. Sammy is a gifted musician. The movie establishes that there are people with musical gifts to connect the ancestors and spirits. I'll get more on that later. We have Slim, a pretty popular musician who is an alcoholic. Then Mary, who was in love with Stack before he left, thinking that he would come back sooner, but then she finally sees him, who was also grieving the death of her mother who just died. Then we get to Bo and Grace, the couple who run stores in both black and white communities, which is crazy because that's actually something that happened back in the day. Then we get to Annie, a grieving mother who has connections to magic and spiritual powers, who has kept Smoke safe all this time with some things she's blessed in a sack around his neck. And then you also have characters like Pearline and Cornbread, and I don't really think they're that important to the story for real, so I'm just going to leave them out. One thing that really impressed me was Michael B. Jordan. All the actors did an amazing job, but Jordan made you feel like you were watching two distinctive twins. Smoke was a serious war vet who had the shakes, wasn't all that understanding and meant business. All he wanted to do was keep his brother safe, like he did those years ago when he killed their dad. Stack was the more carefree twin, the most reckless and can't watch his own back. It makes sense how he would get turned out of the two. Both have relationship issues with the women in the movie, both being reasons for them to leave and try to make life in Chicago. Smoke and Annie just lost a child, so it's hard for them to stay together, as Smoke lives a dangerous life. The same with Stack and Mary, that dangerous life that Stack didn't want Mary around. Also, with the KKK roaming around, seeing a black man and a white woman together wouldn't be ideal. The whole movie kind of talks about how relationships and how hurt people can, hurt people. In the end, though, everyone kind of gets what they want. Annie told Smoke to kill her if she turned because she knew her baby boy would be on the other side waiting for her. All Smoke wanted to do was to be with his family, and when he died, he did. Stack wanted to be with Mary, but he knew if he was, something would happen to her. But with them now both being the living dead, they can be together forever and not have to worry about kinda anything. Smoke wanted to keep his brother safe, and Stack wanted to be with his brother. It was tempted not to go with him and live forever once Stack turned into a vampire. Smoke was about to kill Stack, but he couldn't. He made Stack promise not to hurt Sammy as long as he lived. And in the end, he still protected his baby bro. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, this Stack and Smoke talk is like, I'm like tripping over myself. I just recorded things 4 times. Okay, let's move on to Sammy. Sammy is battling through crossroads the whole movie. His dad keeps saying how he's dancing with the devil playing music for drunks. Sammy goes through the night being the only survivor and chooses to still play the guitar and not let it go. I know this isn't the story of Robert Johnson, but man, you can ask my girlfriend how excited I got when I saw that mid-credit scene and it was the older version of Sammy. My mind went directly to that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's basically this old saying about this guitar player that he made a deal with the devil to become the greatest guitarist ever. And it was at crossroads where he sold his soul to the devil to become, the greatest guitar player. There's not actually a devil in the movie, but Sammy refers to the main vampire Remick as the devil. Then we see Stack and Mary seeing how Smoke made him promise not to touch Sammy basically in the end. That being the deal with the devil in order for Stack to stay alive. Or undead, I guess. We see older Sammy telling Stack how that was the best day of his life until the sun went down, spending one more day with his 2 cousins. Stack agrees, saying it was the last time he saw his brother and saw the sun. Beautiful writing. With Bo and Grace being old friends with the twins, you can see why they would want to help for the party. Obviously because they're getting paid, but also to have fun and fellowship. When things turn and Bo gets killed and after they're going to go after her daughter, Grace is the reason why the vampires get inside after Scream and come in. With the old vampire rule being, a vampire can't come in unless you say so. I've seen people online saying how Grace is dumb and all that, but let's just be realistic. That party was filled with people and most of them got bit that night. Yeah, they could have waited until the morning, but what happens the next night? The vampire's numbers will only grow. And to think, if someone said something about your only child, of course you'd want to kill them. Okay, let's get into the villain. Remick, the vampire. Probably one of the best villains I've seen. I've seen a joke that says that you know a villain's good when they're not racist. It's like they'll do anything, but racism is where they draw the line. Remick is of Irish descent and creates his own culture of vampires, stating that you can be free. All he wants to do is see his ancestors, and he needs Sammy, the boy with the musical gifts who can connect the ancestors. Remick doesn't see race. In fact, he just sees everyone as his family. He even tries to connect with the twins, saying how the KKK is out to get them, and with his help, they can take him out. I'll get more on that later. Let's talk about Remick's songs. The first one he sings is with the KKK couple. It's Pick Poor Robbing Clean. The lyrics being disturbing and scary about basically robbing or killing a person. They're describing what they're going to do to everyone, take their lives away. Then the big song in the middle of the movie, Rocky Road to Dublin. That one is basically him trying to mimic what Sammy does, bringing the ancestors back. The problem is that Remick is controlling everyone. It's not genuine music that is getting everyone to act like that. And when Sammy plays, he has a way of bringing actual people together. The reason why Remick wasn't racist is because his people were a victim of colonization too, being that the Irish had their home invaded by the British. It's just ironic how he turns into a colonizer. Remick thinks that he's helping others, but he's really stealing their culture and making it his culture. This movie is about fucking vampires, by the way. It's like, what? Remick gets killed by Smoke in the end, who was protected by the sack that Annie gave him. At first I thought, well, how the hell did Smoke didn't die when all those vampires are outside? But it makes sense. If his brother couldn't bite him with the sack, then no one could. Now let's talk about the KKK. In the start of the movie, the twins buy the building of the juke joint from a Klan member. He sells it to him, saying he's not one, but plans to bring his buddies back in the morning to kill them and take back their building. Remick finds this out by the first victim of the night being the Klan couple. He knows this because when he turned into a vampire, everyone becomes a hive mind to him. That explains how he knew Grace's daughter's name and how to speak in her language. Remick knows how it feels to be oppressed, so he was trying to help even though he was doing the same to them. The last fight scene of the movie is Smoke taking out the Klan members in his last effort of revenge. A badass sequence showing us why he's a war veteran. Okay, let's talk more about the musical elements. The best scene in the movie is when Sammy plays a song that shows different representation of black music culture. We see rock and roll, hip hop, stuff from the past and the future, and we even see Asian culture being recognized. Remick heard that, and that's why he knew he wanted Sammy in his covenant. Slim tells Sammy about the history of the blues. The scene shows how the blues started with black people and changed music forever. Also, to talk about Slim, he was a funny character, really liked him. I liked how he sacrificed himself to save the others, like he was like a great character. The score of the movie was incredible, and just the sound in general. My theater actually had the audio playing way too loud that the speakers went out twice. And when that happened, my heart dropped so fast. No more scary movies for me. All in all, Sinners is an amazing movie. Ryan Coogler keeps on making hit after hit and inspires a young filmmaker like myself that I can do it too. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it's been a while. Let me know your thoughts on the movie and if I missed anything or if you just want to share anything that you took from it. God bless, and I'll be back soon.